Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live, and it's a Wednesday, so you know what that means. It means another AEW Dynamite live stream here at the Wrestling for Life Network. Going to be a fun one. Stack card, busy night, lots going on, lots to talk about, lots to get into. So, folks, make sure you get in that chat. Click all the buttons. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the Wrestling Fans United. As we talk a little wrestling tonight, it's going to be a lot of interesting things to get into. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream as we jump into AEW Dynamite tonight. Packed show, lots to talk about. I'm going to run through the card. I'm going to say hello to all the people. Hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe. You're doing well. You're feeling good. Hump day in the books. Friday Junior tomorrow, and the weekend is upon us, folks. It's going to be a fun one here at the channel tonight. Again, lots of news, lots of rumors, people coming, people going, everybody heading somewhere, and we're going to talk all about it here tonight. We will be your live reaction to all the action, as we always are. We got so much going on at the channel, and it's going to be nothing but chaos on the road to Dynasty, on the road to WrestleMania. And as I said, there's tons to talk about. But if you don't know, well, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. It's always a pleasure. And tonight we start with the hopium. We start with the excitement. The card looks decent. Lots to talk about as far as who's booked, who's going where, who's doing what. We're going to talk about it, but we're starting with the positivity. I'm giving TK and company the benefit of the doubt. I'm hoping they can pull it off. I hope this is a good show. I would argue that they've had a couple not so great shows as of late. But again, optimism is the word of the day. We aired a lot of grievances last night during our NXT stream. We talked a lot about the things that are going on, why we get mad at the toxic IWC, why we are the WFU, why we are the Wrestling Utopia, why we are the wrestling friends you can't find in your real life. We are happy to be here again, and I do see that chat blowing up already. So get in there. Let us know what is on your wrestling mind. What do you want to talk about? I'm going to quickly run through this card, and then I will say hello to the people as we got about 11 minutes or so before everything kicks off. And again, shall be a very interesting night. MJF will answer Bobby Lashley. What will this mean? Will he join the Hurt Syndicate? Does he have other plans? Does he have a group of his own that might help him out? Where does this fall? What does this mean? Curious. I mean, if nothing else, I am curious about MJF and how this is going to work out with MVP and the crew. We also get a sit down with Rated FTR coming off the heels of Copeland losing for a second time. We know Dax Wheeler, there's some issues, there's some static. What will that mean? I don't know. Swerve Strickland will also call out John Moxley. What is this going to look like as he gets ready for his match against Moxley at Dynasty? Again, last year at Dynasty, Swerve wins the belt. Can he go back-to-back Dynasties, becoming champion? I don't know. We will talk about it. Mark Briscoe taking on Takeshita in a bit of a throw-in match, but should be a great one. We'll remind everyone about that in a second, but we are here on Sunday. Kyle Fletcher against Brody King. Brody King's a beast. I love Brody King. Kyle Fletcher's a future absolute superstar. Should be a banger of a match. I know there's not a whole lot of angle or story going into this one, but we don't need it. This should be a hell of a match here tonight. Hobbs, Mark Davis, two beefy boys, going to throw all the meat around. We, again, not really sure what the cause for this is, but hey, who cares? It's going to be a slobber knocker, folks. Looking forward to it. And then we get a big tag match as Tony Storm teams up with Thunder Rosa, the return of Thunderstorm, taking on Bane and Ford. So this one should be interesting as well. And then Kenny Omega the one, the only Kenny Omega, taking on Blake Christian. Again, a lot of debate online about this match. For me as a fan, I like the match. Is there, every once in a while you put a champion, a key guy in a match that, you kind of know he's going to win, but it should be fun. We've seen other companies do it. We've seen the likes of Cody take on, a Carmelo Hayes. I don't hate this booking. I think this match should cook. If you don't know Blake Christian, this will be a nice introduction to what Blake can do out there. A hell of a talent, a hell of a good guy. So, again, this one should be very interesting. I will take a second to remind you before I get to that chat, as I do see it still rolling, we are here for TNA Impact tomorrow night. Gigi and Tatum taking on the Elegances. Joe will be in the building. So much more to talk about with TNA. It's going to be a fun one. Our TNA expert will be in the house, Mr. Anthony. So we are looking forward to that tomorrow. It shall be good. And, of course, SmackDown, special start time, 3:45 p.m. Be there for that. It's going to be a hell of a show. They are in the O2 Arena. They will be also in the O2 Arena on Monday. The last two shows of the European tour, we will be live when they go live on Netflix. I know some people don't love it, but it is what it is. So let's go. But yes, that's your card. That's what we're looking forward to on Dynamite tonight. And I got all the hope in the world. So when we, an hour from now, when I'm pulling my hair out or my facial hair out, then we can come back to the part where I was happy and excited and ready to go. So yes, a lot going on. And I know we talk about this a lot on the channel. And what we're trying to do is kind of buck the system, be the exception to the rule. And as I said yesterday, I don't want to be on the bandwagon of let's just beat the shit out of AEW. Let's kick them while they're down. Let's, I get it. I have my criticisms. As of late, if it's a bad show and there's been more, a few bad shows kind of in quick succession, the criticism is earned. It's not like we're choosing it. There's no advantage to us, to me, to find problems with things. And again, like we said last night, the toxicity of certain people out there, it kind of makes you, like, I had to explain the counter argument. And in order to counter the argument, I then have to put down AEW, which I'm a fan of. So it's a tough spot. When you kind of make statements that aren't true, that are blasphemous, that are over the top, it forces everyone to kind of buck back a little. That to me has been the ultimate victimization of AEW and AEW's community, or at least the hardcore one. Ultimately, we're looking for fun tonight. We're looking for a good show. I'm looking for good matches. I want excitement, entertainment. We're going to be here for all of it, and we'll see what they deliver, folks. But you have listened to me ramble long enough, as Michael is the first one into the chat today. Michael, welcome back. Hector's in the house. Let's go. Damien, always a pleasure. Looking forward to some stuff. I do appreciate that. Christopher, welcome back. Welcome back. See, Money. Yeah, you know what? She moves a lot. It's okay. I grew up in the same type of house. Just move around a lot. It was her house, but she moved. She don't live here no more. So for those who don't know, Saraya officially leaving, mutually parting ways with AEW. Nothing that's come out has been negative. It's a simple case of kind of her time has come to an end. I don't think this is a bad thing. I don't know if Saraya was used as well as she could have been. Plus, I don't know physically where, overall where she is compared to where she used to be. I love Saraya. I love Paige. Her AEW run was a little lackluster for sure. The other breaking news, the other interesting news is Britt Baker has removed every mention of AEW from her TikTok or her X. So a lot of people are speculating on what that means. We thought anyway that her time with AEW could be coming to an end. So she did change that up. So a lot of people are speculating, what does that mean? The other side of that coin, Mina is leaving Stardom, and apparently she's coming to AEW. So we know the relationship with AEW. We know the relationship with Tony and Mariah May and others. It's a good fit. Makes a lot of sense. So Mina coming in the fold. We'll see what this means for the women's division. Again, Saraya kind of moving on, not an active full-time wrestler, or at least hasn't been over a long period of time. Mina, a nice little counter. Mina can do some things. Well, the fans like Mina for several reasons. Looking forward to Kenny and Blake. Should be a good one. Addie, welcome back. Good to see you over on Twitch. Don't forget, we do have the Twitch, folks, as we are up to 53 Twitchers, and I appreciate seeing that grow. So thank you. But Dari Bennett, welcome. The Wrestling God, welcome back. Good to see you. Philip Brown, Dennis, welcome. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. How you doing tonight? Dale, the OG's in the house. Ken's with us. Saffit's back at it again. Darren Miller, welcome. Boston, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Dynamite, let's go. Pumped, excited. Benefit of the doubt. Again, I really want this one to be good. Let's have fun tonight. It's a good Wednesday. Again, I think last night was a little cathartic. Got a little things off the chest. And we're ready to kind of turn a new page and move forward. So it's on you, Tony. Let's go. Book it well. What up? Some love from the chat to the chat. Like it. Darren, where was that? Darren Miller, welcome. Hello. Hope you are well. Bum. The Geek Box. Oh, change of scenery by following my guy over on Twitch. We appreciate it, Geek Box. And again, if you haven't checked out Geekbox, go check out Geekbox, everyone's second favorite box on the planet. Great content, features guys like us all the time. And girls, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the friendship. We appreciate being a part of the family. So you will see Geekbox again, and Geekbox and I are working on something fun. So stay tuned for that. Coming soon. Never heard of Blake Christian, Ken? It'll be a good introduction to Blake. Kenny should get a good match out of him. I think it's going to be relatively competitive, though Kenny is going to win this match unless something weird happens. But yes, a great opportunity for Blake to be on national TV against a main event level guy. I like Blake Christian. I like him a lot. He's a really good heel on the indies. He's a better heel than a babyface, but he can really go in the ring. So much hate for Jey Uso. The Jey Uso thing doesn't make any sense. Jey Uso said it perfectly. There are better wrestlers in wrestling, but I make buildings shake. And that's it. Hogan was not the best wrestler, but he made buildings shake. Austin wasn't the best wrestler, better than the other two. He could go, but not the best wrestler, but he made buildings shake. And that's the thing. If you can make the buildings shake, if you can get over, again, hate him all you want. It is his time. It is his moment. The same people mad at Jey Uso right now. And keep in mind, he put a slip into his storyline as a tip to the fans that were criticizing him for the botch before that. People sometimes don't realize when they're part of the joke and it goes over their head. And then they start complaining, I can't believe he fell again. You missed the point. It's okay. Jey Uso's fine. Jey Uso's earned this. I'm shocked because we do this so much. We've seen all that love for Jey Uso. We've seen time after time where people wanted Jey to get his moment. Why isn't Jey getting his moment? How do you call him main event Jey if he never wins a main event? We need Jey. We need Jey. All right, Jey wins the Rumble. Fuck Jey. What do you mean? Why? Why would that change now? What is different about Jey now compared to then? Now he's in the number one spot. He's in the driver's seat, and he's about to go after Gunther. And there's a good chance he wins this match just for that Mania moment, if nothing else. So that all being said, folks, it's the top of the hour. I will keep saying hello to everybody as we got more coming your way. But this program is about to start. If you want to sync up with me, I'm actually getting, and I feel like I haven't gotten a whoa. I'm getting the opening to Dynamite with the inclusion of a Jack Black film. What is this? Minecraft movie, April 4th in theaters. So Minecraft sponsoring tonight's Dynamite. Who knew? Who draws better, Snow White or Dynamite tonight? Yeah, it's hard to go against Snow White, but I mean, it might be a little snowy in the building. We'll find out. MJF Scarf says mid. We don't know what you're saying mid to. Let us know. Is the scarf mid? Is the card mid? Are you saying we're mid? What is mid? Be specific. Show your work. Come on. Don't be shy. Don't be quiet. What's up, Vance? How you doing? Ovi, 5. We got time. We got lots of time, man. 5. That's crazy. What up, Trey? KJ, my travel streamer. What is your thoughts on TK bragging about surpassing WCW? I'll come back to that, but we're opening up with Blake Christian, folks, which I thought might be later in the show. But we will get... I would have had Kenny Omega come out first, just my opinion. But we are kicking this off. And you guys can let me know in the chat who's going to win as Kenny takes on Blake. He has a 7-match win streak in Ring of Honor. And nobody knows that because nobody watches Ring of Honor. What up, Anthony? How you doing? Anthony getting jazzed. We'll be back on stream tomorrow night for TNA, and I'm looking forward to having Anthony back on with us. Going to be a good one, folks. I still can't believe TK signed AJ Boom and his 2 kids. Again, it's I can. Are you that surprised? Hit the sneeze button. We're good. We're good. We're still good. We're still good. As here comes Kenny Omega. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. And I do apologize. My head just exploded. Will Luchasaurus return at Dynasty? I don't know. And if he does, it almost makes my eyes roll to bring him back into the Christian stuff. But is that what happens? Nick Wayne, Kip, Nick's mom, they all turn on Christian. And Lucha comes back into the fold to save the day? Maybe, but I think Christian's colder than he's been in a long time. I think we are getting a reuniting of Christian and Cope versus FTR. Now, you got a lot of work to pull that off, right? So we just talked about Luchasaurus, but Christian's been one of the biggest heels in AEW. He's gone cold. If his family turns on him, there is an opportunity there. Putting Edge and Christian back together makes a lot of sense. And I think when you have 2 older guys like Edge and Christian, even though Christian, I would argue, is in great shape, I think it's a good opportunity when they're in a tag team to kind of minimize some of their physical, the wear and tear that they put on their body. What up, what up? I see Darren, Geekbox. I'm watching you on both. They're doubling up. Double down. Let's go. Geekbox double fisted in the Wrestling for Life Network tonight. Pause. But let's go. Mina is 100% AEW bound. That's facts. Cherokee George, evening. Oh, me too. Never heard of Blake Christian. Where's Jack Perry? Jack Perry, MIA. Jack Perry went away with the Bucks, apparently. So the crowd behind Kenny to open this one up, as expected. 90% of the chat. 90% of the chat taking Kenny Omega, 0 taking Blake, 8 taking nobody. So pretty clear favorite in this one. And again, that makes a lot of sense. That's what this match is for. But if you haven't seen Blake Christian before, I'm hoping this is a great example of what he can do. Mr. Noob, always a pleasure. Saying so should be a hell of a match in spite of a story is the reason AEW is where it is. You enable the status quo when you say it. 100%, Mr. Noob, and I think the complacency has been a bit of the issue of there is, like, and again, someone will say, well, they're telling stories. They're not really telling good ones. Their matches compensate for a lack of that, and that's fine. I just think at times they're leaning into the pro wrestling, the sports entertaining, and then when it doesn't go well, they say, well, that's not us. That's not our thing. So you got to make sure that if you're going to be the company where the best wrestle, if you're going to be the company with the best matches, you got to put them on. You can't give us hogwash, right? You can't give us Jericho Gravity. You got to give us good matches. Stand by your business. If that's your identity, make it your identity. But at times, I struggle to figure out what AEW's identity is because they don't do the sports entertainment. And the next thing you know, someone's house is burning down. Or Mox is in the desert screaming at the camera. So do you do them or don't you do them? Back to this one real quick as Kenny takes down Blake. It's a weird flex, but it's an accomplishment. If I was in the AEW spot, I would do it. I love the pettiness. The thing I warn fans about is if you're going to get mad about the pettiness, you got to get mad in both directions. So if WWE does something, you can't get mad if it feels petty, if it feels like, oh, they only booked that because of this, or they only booked this because then okay. But now you're all like, oh, look what Tony did. We're getting spring breakout or breakthrough. I think it's good. Congratulations for all the negativity, for all the criticism, for all the struggles of AEW. They've been around for over 6 years. They've been around. They're putting in the work. They're growing. I think some of us, the frustration we express is because we're worried about the progression. We're worried about the vibe. We're worried about how this feels because it doesn't feel like it's moving forward. It feels like same guys that we were watching 5 years ago in a lot of ways. It's tough. Here for Harley, MDB, the Knee Pad Patrol looking for Harley. Wow. Inverted tope. I don't know how often or how many of those I've seen, guys. Lee Johnson at ringside. Crazy tope from Blake Christian. Let's go, Christopher. See Money, good to see ya. Hammerstone is doing a WWE tryout at the Performance Center. Hammerstone's interesting. A lot of people tied him to MJF because of their history, but he's also dabbled with NXT and such. Hammerstone, I believe, is a talent. Hammerstone, Jacob Fatu, man. You put those two back in the ring, you're selling tickets all night long. But Kenny about to, Snapdragon. Snapdragon. She's mine. How you doing? Shout out to Anthony. I need to Insta you, sort some things. There you go. There you go. Making business deals. Let's go. Can Megan talk, KG? We don't know. And truthfully, at this point, she doesn't need to. Let her actions speak louder than her words. I think she's an okay promo, but I can't honestly say I've seen a lot of her work. So that'll be interesting. But again, when you have the presence that she has, less is more in a lot of those cases. But yeah, we got a shoulder breaker. Kenny all over Blake Christian. Yes, 100%. I think someone else answered that. Where's Anthony? There you go. Look at that. If you got my TikTok, I address them over there, and I'll be on stream tomorrow for TNA. May address them again, too. Fully expect Anthony to talk a lot about it. Crazy times. And Kenny Omega with an emphatic win. I'm okay with that. I like that. Good start to this show. Kenny, a superstar, a guy that should be treated like a superstar, doesn't have to go 15 minutes competitive. He dominated that match, and big win for Kenny Omega. I'll take it. TNA firing Gail Kim is a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, again, I want to know more. Apparently, they're realigning. I know Nick and I were a little worried that when you start mass layoffs, does that mean you're, liquidating? Are you trying to, up the value of your company to move it out the door? I don't know. Anthony will be here tomorrow to talk more about it. Evening chat. We are here with the best network, the Wrestling for Life Network. Let's go. Let's go. Love it. As we're about to hit triple digits in this chat. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We are at triple digits almost every stream now, and we appreciate it. We love it. We are killing big accounts with our live watch numbers, but now we're hungry. Now we're greedy. We want 200 in here. We want 300 in here. So be a friend. Tell a friend. As Kenny's got a mic. Kenny's got a mic. Mm-hmm. Kenny, not known as a great promo. Just kind of chit-chatting with the crowd. It's not bad. Evening chat. Got that one. Appreciate it. My protest of AEW continues. Can't stand to watch it. Alexis, I understand. And you are in a large group of people that have made it, have gone that way. It's unfortunate. It really is. I hope you find a reason to come back to the show. Yeah, no, it's insane. But wait a minute. Speedball, Mike Bailey. I really wish he could use his independent song. He uses Funky Monkey on the independent scene. Be really fun if Tony would have licensed the rights to that. Can Soraya come back to the 100%? They won't see. They'll do something like make her a player coach in WWE, kind of put her back where she was, right? Give her other roles outside of the physicality of wrestling. But I think there is value in Paige in Saraya. Again, I think going into AEW and my house, and I'm taking over, and the fans in AEW were very protective of the WWE stars coming in, so it kind of backfired, and then they kind of took a reactionary approach to making her a heel. And by the time you made her a heel and gave her kind of the faction, it kind of fell flat. And then they were doing like the spray paint stuff in a not convincing way. It felt very choppy, very silly. But I think they could do stuff with Paige. She could make Saraya / Paige the GM of NXT. Sorry, Ava. Sorry. Bradley, how you doing? Yes. Evolve. How many other people out there have been watching Evolve? Are you watching it when it happens? Are you watching the next day? Are you watching Evolve instead of Dynamite? That's a good question. Do we have to start checking in on Evolve while I'm here covering Dynamite? Wait, Mike Bailey getting booed. Mike Bailey cutting a little deep here, saying he's going to kick Kenny's head off. And I will catch up to this as we got more company. Kenny promo. I guess AEW no longer live on Max. Yeah, no, it should be live on Max, 100%. Ricochet, not in person. Why isn't Ricochet in the building, man? No, but does anybody in this company work 2 weeks in a row? 94% of people are upset about Gail Kim are just virtue signaling and probably don't even watch TNA. It is very funny because the amount of people that don't have a lot of good things to say about TNA. We've talked about it before. I find it very funny that like AEW diehard fans shit on TNA. Like there's this war between TNA and AEW online. So it makes me laugh. A lot of people don't even know who Gail Kim is because a lot of her work has been behind the scenes for so long. Again, a lot of people love to beat that drum. I don't know the full story. Again, if they just let her go, which that is the story I read, it's unfortunate. She's a very talented woman. AEW, if I was Tony Khan, I would give Gail Kim money and I would, and just say, Gail, the women's division is yours. You have 100% creative control over this entire women's division, even over Mercedes. And Gail Kim will turn the AEW women's division into something special, something to talk about. Will they do that? I don't know. People talked about Gail going back to the WWE. Again, another place that she could be really, her expertise could be utilized. Sorry, we're back to Kenny. So Kenny is going to fight Speedball and Ricochet at Dynasty, if you did not know. I see Mega. I see AJ. I see Sean. I see Kevin. I see Chair. I see Brandon. Mega, how you doing? Richard, what's up? Emo, I'll get to all these comments. LJ from BK, welcome back. Odds, welcome back. This is getting a bit long. You had a really good match. Let's move. There you go. Kenny puts the kiss on it. Wrestling Rants, good to see ya. Brandon Barnes, what's up? AJ got you. Blake Christian looks like every bully from right? That is actually funny as shit. There we go. Not showing #Dale. All right. Kenny got all the pyro. That's it. When you're a badass, you get the pyro. Who's Malibu's most wanted is who in the Malibu most wanted is this guy. That's funny. AR1, welcome back. As we are going to a replay of this ongoing story that should not be happening on AEW Dynamite TV. I'm not even wearing my trusty Jarrett Hogan shirt this week. Now we're getting a replay of the kid that flipped Jericho off. Go figure. So this is a Ring of Honor storyline. This should be on Ring of Honor. We should not be wasting Dynamite time with Jericho's indulgence, period. I'm not that mad about it anymore. I've had my anger with this, but it's a waste. It does not help the show be better. It's not entertaining. Jericho fighting luchadors. And again, I know luchadors were a high debate this week. I watched this storyline and can't think of how any diehard tribalist is mad about what Gable's doing when you got this guy running around like an absolute idiot. What's up, Wesley? What's up, Brian? Frankie, I see you. Alan, welcome back. James and KC. Tom's with us tonight. Theater of the Absurd, always a pleasure. Dennis Hodge. Brandon. Michael Campbell, welcome, welcome, welcome. Keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. I want to see 150 in this chat here tonight. Yes, she did. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good news. The fiance and I put down a congratulations, buddy. Big news. Big news. I appreciate that. Congrats. Congrats. Hammerstone, Oba, Femi, take all my money. That's big boys. Now, Femi does have a win over Hammerstone, James. What up, Kyle? Kyle. Hammerstone, Jacob, too. Yeah, let's go. Blake Christian, says Damon. Yeah, we got Blake. But again, Blake wasn't uber competitive. Blake did his job tonight. Here comes MJF. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. There we go. Up next. Let's put up a poll real quick because we got time to kill, I'm sure. Does MJF accept MVP's offer? What do you think, folks? What do you think? Is MJF going to join the Hurt Syndicate? What's up, Kev? Would be so cool if Hammerstone and a Paul Heyman guy. That's interesting. Lots of rumors about, will Punk be a Heyman guy? Could Seth be a Heyman guy? Will Braun Breaker be a Heyman guy? Where will Paul go next? Bum, 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 bum. 95% of the people upset about Gil. I got that one, and I do agree, sir. But again, it's this anger. It's this entitlement of like, it's funny because now more than ever, there is no job loyalty. Like people move jobs a lot. But when it goes the other way, they're like, hey, the company let someone go? That's not fair. If they're restructuring, I don't know what to tell you. My concern, I really, 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 really do not want the Fed anywhere near purchasing TNA. I do not want that. It's bad for wrestling. He's telling Minnesota to shut the hell up, folks. Yeah, absolutely great match to start the show. Actions against Edge, especially after the reunion, require significant justifications to maintain the believability of the relationship. Yeah, it's going to take a lot to get back to that. So I would be surprised with you, AJ. I guess AEW is no longer on Max. Got that one. I don't even consider TK praising his company that he built petty. Like you said, KJ, it's a milestone. I see the problem with it, acknowledging that. No, I see no problem. I mean, again, because this is what happens, Rance. And actually, one second. Here comes MVP, folks. Here's what, and I talked about this last night, Wrestle Rance, is it's the core fan base that are so desperate to shove everything in everyone's face that they're jumping up and down like they're about to win the Super Bowl. And it's a nice milestone. I'd like to cheer along too, but you're all acting obnoxious. So now I feel like I'm going to point out why your party is shit. I think the pettiness is in, calling it spring breakthrough. That is beautiful. To me, that's a little bit of a dig. And do it. You've earned it. Eric's been critical of you. You just outlasted that, thing. Again, people are going to talk about, well, there was way more viewers back then and there was this, and that doesn't matter. You outlasted them. If you became champion, you have now had a longer championship run than the other person. You're allowed to brag. I want them to brag. I just think some of the toxic fan base makes it hard to kind of celebrate with them, but it's a great thing, and TK should do it. I got no problem with it. WWE need to sign Gail Kim to book the women NXT, then have HBK run Raw and SmackDown for the women. Maybe hit that like button. Let's go, folks. Let's go. Where are we at right now? 83. I need more likes. I want triple digits in that like column. But Montel in the ring. Well, 60. Wow, 38% say yes. Interesting. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't think so. Calling out Okada. Oh, Kenny needs a mic just as much. Kenny needs a mic just as much as Ricochet. Kenny's not a great promo. He's not. Kenny seems like a very introverted guy. So it's almost like be a man of few words. And when it got a little long there, you kind of almost see like there's almost like an anxiousness. He's not naturally comfortable on the mic in front of people. Plus, I think sometimes his cadence, his very soft, breathy cadence kind of makes people think that he is a little more uneasy than you think. But wait a minute. Here come the tag champs. Bobby Shelton in the house, looking large and in charge. Oh, Frankie, appreciated, thankful as well that I have anybody hanging out with me here tonight. 100 people in this chat. I want to see that number up higher, but let's go. When was the last time Gail Kim wrestled? It has to be 5, 6, 7 years ago. Somebody can fill me in on that, but it's been a while. I mean, maybe like a couple little things here in TNA and such, but yeah, it's been a minute. As Bobby standing in front of MJF, hands out. Listen to your crowd, Tony Khan. Don't push MVP. Don't push the Hurt Syndicate as heels. Make them baby faces. The crowd wants to cheer for them. Every promotion goes through tough times of removal. 100%. We see it all the time with the Dub, even though they're a big multi-billion-dollar giant machine. They go through releases. I've been part of releases in companies. Things happen. It's unfortunate. It sucks. I don't wish any of it. Any of the uncertainty that comes with it on anybody. But this whole like, how dare they? Why are you so upset? Stoner Jesus, how are you? So Bobby asks for the card. MJF doesn't have it and walks out, says we'll talk, and it comes to an end. May the blood be with you, sir. Here comes Speedball. That's how far behind I am. That's great. Soraya on LFG makes sense. That works. She does have a lot to offer that way. But you not sure? Megan Bacon for AEW. Yes, 100%. Whoa. Wait, what? Brian Keith with Big Bill. Speedball was in a match against Josh Alexander on TNA that lasted an hour. Speedball and Josh Alexander had a phenomenal match. Paige could be on one of the many WWE reality shows or any of the shows they have. Facts. I completely agree with that. Oh, wow. MVP calling Keith a little bitch. Terrell, what's up? Massive boost from Mike Bailey. That was interesting. A brand new baby face of the company gets a little heelish with Kenny, and the fans don't like it. But Tony has to listen to his audience. If they're cheering for the Hurt Business, you got to lean into it. If they're booing somebody, you got to lean into it. Ricochet getting married? Maybe. That's funny. Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong cooked. Gail had a great career. I would love to see Gail Kim's pause. What do you think about Paige and Britt Baker headed to WWE? The Britt Baker one's interesting, Alan. You're the MVP of being their bitch. And the crowd went, eh. Big Bill saying, I used to be a tag team champion. I was never pinned. I was never beaten. And then Sting ran off and retired. And my buddy Ricky got hijacked by Jericho. So Big Bill using the rematch clause to set up a match for him and Keith for the tag titles, which I guess would be Dynasty. Let me slide down. MVP is cooking. So MVP. Let's go. Let's go. Hurt people. Hurt people. It's true. But there you go. So this started out as MJF going to answer MVP. Never got a clear-cut answer. The tag champs come out, interrupt. MJF leaves, and now we get a tag match for the titles in lieu of what's going on with MJF. Anybody? Did I miss something with that? Oh, man. The learning tree is fine. Big Bill and Keith are fine without Jericho. Jericho is the weak link, not the link wink. As ladies and gentlemen, we go into commercial break. I will take a second to remind everybody, join the WFU, get your WFU merch and apparel on our store. Be a part of the group, be a part of the fun. Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Court will be in session. We go into the John Cena versus the fans trial. Myself, Big Nick, one-on-one. We will plead our case. Was John Cena justified in his heel turn? Is John Cena justified with his new attitude, or have the fans been done wrong? You get to be the jury. Be there on Sunday. It's going to be a hell of a show. We also have TNA tomorrow, and of course, SmackDown 3:45. Click your bell right now. If you can hear my voice, click your bell and make sure you are ready so you know when we pop up 3:45 on Friday live. It's going to be a good one and a lot to figure out. Roman's being advertised, a lot going on heading into WrestleMania. Of course, the Street Profits will defend their titles against Pretty Deadly. What else we got going on? I don't even know what they're going to do next on this show. It's all over the place. Don't know what that's referring to. Nobody needed this. Yeah, it was kind of weird how we... So what is MVP MJF going to do now? Braun Strowman gets one big SOB and Big Bill gets too much man. MVP is cooking them. Jericho is the leaky tire of the learning tree. Exactly. Jericho versus Gravity, I don't give a flying hoot. Jericho versus Bandito, I don't care. I'd rather see Gravity versus Bandito. Right? Like, I don't know what Jericho is thinking. I don't know how this helps Jericho stay relevant. I don't like, you think Jericho would, again, if you're going to be Ring of Honor champion and you're helping Ring of Honor be better, be on Ring of Honor. Wouldn't that be the first step? Go there. I don't want you cutting promos about Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor bullshit during this show. I don't want you on this show. And it's not because you're such a good heel. Boo. No, it's because you're so bad, you ruin my viewing experience on a weekly. But we got Thunderstorm in the back with Renee Paquette. MVP verbally violated. So after 5 years, Swerve is retiring. That's the rumor. That's the rumor that he's going to do it. Get out while he's still healthy. February 3rd, 2018 was Kim's last match. So I was close. There you go. Thank you, Christopher. I got currently unavailable when I tried to watch AEW on Max. Anyone else? Now, that's a couple people that said, anyone else having issues with Max out there? Sorry, Mega. It's the way it is, buddy. You can always watch the replay. What's up, Jordan? Right back at you, buddy. Hoots can fly. Never. You never seen an owl? Whoo! Asla, who you got? Let's go. So I do believe Brody King is coming out next. Dun, dun, dun. So I will throw up a poll, folks. Who wins? As King, again, I wish they would do more with King. I say this a lot. I'm such a big fan of Brody King. I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, I don't imagine Fletcher's going to take an L. Fletcher, Brody, King seems like an odd booking for my taste right now. But Brody King should be annihilating people. Like, Brody King should be that guy that when you see him coming, everybody pauses and goes, shit's about to go down. Hold on. Gail Kim is married to Robert Irvine. Yes, she is. I do believe. How do you guys watch SmackDown during these international shows, then Raw on Netflix? Well, Kyle, I am international. I am Canadian, so I get the international Netflix. If you want to watch it outside of Netflix, you need a VPN or you need to Google what you're trying to accomplish, and there may be some links there that might help you direct that a little bit better. As my buddy MDB likes to say, you got to go find that Jack Sparrow link out there. So good luck. But yes. How do you fire Gil Kim? Hi, Gil. You're fired. Bye, Gail. No, I'm just kidding. Again, I don't know what their overall vision is. I know we're thinking, oh my God, but maybe they're thinking one person or two people can oversee an entire division. Sometimes companies, especially when budget is an issue, you got to remember, I mean, Anthem, TNA, smaller company, they are going to try and be as frugal as possible. So if they feel like they can bring in a Delirious, and Delirious with the help of a couple other people book the whole show, then maybe they feel like having Delirious and Gale don't work. It's too much. It's a little redundant. That being said, I don't know, Kiwan. Like, I don't know what all the details are, but that would be my guess. And I've seen it happen before. Like, if you're a sales rep for one territory and the company decides to dissolve some of those territories and you're in that small territory, you might get eaten up, and they might now be a bigger territory for one person instead of two or three people. It happens. Off go the pants. Little bit of a reaction for Fletcher. Jericho aside, Dynamite has been pretty good in my opinion. Dynamite's been good enough that the Jericho thing's just a blip. Like, that was almost like an annoyance, right? It's like a mosquito on the shoulder. You swat it away, we're good to go. Jericho didn't do enough to change the trajectory of the show. Brody King laying down Kyle Fletcher. But yeah, I like Dynamite so far. Right? You get a good Kenny match. He gets a solid win. It wasn't uber competitive, and it shouldn't be. You do the little bit of the hype for Dynasty and the triple threat. That's okay. Touch long, but not bad. The MJF MVP thing, I think, was a little flat for me. A little flat. But not bad. Not bad enough that I'm mad about it. And now we're into this stuff. So Fletcher King off to a great start. Callis giving some love. I actually like seeing Callis actually managing at ringside and not on commentary. Ed should have won. Ed should have won at Revolution is what should have happened, Theater. I don't know why we didn't get an answer to I don't like when you advertise something and then don't deliver on the advertised thing. If you don't advertise, if you just say MJF, MVP, face to face, then you leave it open. And I get it, but where the way they did this, the tag titles took the forefront, and you almost forgot MJF is even involved in somehow this situation. So when you have a bit of bad booking or bad storytelling through a promo, you kind of complicate it and you mess it up. So MJF just says we'll talk. Now MJF's big problem is the Death Riders ultimately because he wants the belt back. But is he what is he going to do? Take over the learning tree? Like, it doesn't make any sense as far as continuity. Being a little picky, it's a little messy. Whew. KJ, Brody is my AEW camo in my universe, and he is literally feuding with Fletcher in the game. Funny how that works out, Ryan. Hope you're doing well, sir. Big clothesline. Fletcher to the floor. Hands Boston, some knee pads. I like that. Okay, cool. Just let you know, cage match is a little more reliable. Cage match is a little more reliable than, I think, what do we say, Wikipedia? This match is about to melt my face off. As we go to picture in picture, folks, Brody in full control of young Kyle Fletcher here. Hashtag blip. Just a blip. Just a blip. It's allowed. Don Callis is the antithesis of Paul Heyman. Nobody cares to see him. The fact that people wanted to even imply that Don Callis is in the league with Heyman is insulting to everybody's intelligence. But yeah, it's not the same. But Callis spends too much time being funny, being a joke, being a comedic act that's not funny, and spends too much time on commentary. He needs to be at ringside. He needs to be a distraction. He needs to garner heat for his client. That's his role. He doesn't do it great some days. What did the poll say? Fletcher 51%, King 36, and nobody 12. See, in any world, Brody should be like a huge, huge favorite to win this match. Don't you think? Dun, dun, dun. Why can't Fletcher and Brody be a feud? Why one match off? And again, it's a weird one for me because I would like to see Fletcher having a match with a Blake Christian and dusting him. Good for Fletcher. I don't know where we go with this match. I like it, but what's the purpose behind it? Army Vedetios, what's up? Tom, what do you got for me? The learning tree is not even showing up on the main Ring of Honor show. That's what I mean. Like, it's a weird take. I'm trying to help Ring of Honor. Then go to Ring of Honor. Be there. Like, it's like trying to renovate a house, but you never go there. You just send other people to it. Yeah, you guys go put everything together. I'm the foreman. I got this. What are you doing? If you want to make Ring of Honor, apparently your name value means something to you. If you think it helps you get a Ring of Honor deal, go be on Ring of Honor. I don't want to see, if it was Jericho versus somebody on the AEW roster and it wasn't completely putrid, I could understand. But Jericho doing all this Ring of Honor shit and working with Gravity, Bandito, it doesn't work. To me, that's more insulting than Chad Gable being, Captain Grande Americano. Technical difficulties. Brody literally just landed on Fletcher with all his body weight, like bro's shoulders and chest. My God, he's huge. It's insane. And the man moving like that, moving that fast, that hard. Wesley, good to see Too Icy. You think they could do something big enough to kind of save the Death Rider story? I want it to end too, but it kind of feels like a wasted opportunity. If it ends now, it is a waste because you did all this shit for the last few months. It's kind of like the Devil storyline. It was your big storyline. It was your big angle. It was the thing that people were really paying attention to. And then it went away. It fizzled out. It died. Injuries and bullshit and bad booking and silliness. The same thing with the Death Riders. If the Death Riders end, it ends without accomplishing anything. So it's just a thing that happened. Moxley hasn't had a good title run. It hasn't been strong. If you have any hope, I think what you need to do with Moxley, if you're not going to take the belt off him, you have to. They got to run amok. They legitimately got to run amok. Hijack a show, flip over some commentary tables, beat up some refs. Like, they really have to turn it up. They should flip to the back and the cameraman's running like it's cops. And, whoa, Tope, Brody! Kyle Fletcher, barely any offense in this one. And the big man goes flying. MJF bait and switch. Timothy Thatcher and Evolve. That's cool. That's cool, bonkers. Kyle Fletcher's boots don't match his knee pads. I'm triggered. That's awesome. Wait, they match? What do you mean they don't match? The Hurt Syndicate segment reeks of Cedric Alexander coming in to join the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, okay. And I'm okay with that. We expect that. But what about that segment made you think that? Because, so they try and recruit MJF. MJF says no, and you get Cedric instead. But I don't know how that ties. Like, I haven't quite got my head around what's happening between the Hurt Syndicate and MJF yet. And I mean, like I said to Nick last night, I'm gonna try and let it get out of the gate. I'm gonna try and I don't want to hate on it before it happens, but I don't quite know where we're going. I don't see the direction. As Fletcher battling back a little bit, Tope from Fletcher. Callis is yeah, exactly, Geekbox. Yeah, not even close. Callis got heat, but he's more of a comedy manager. He could have more heat. People like to hate Callis. He is a natural heel. He looks like a dick with ears. Let's be real. Even that line down his head doesn't help. But he needs to be active in that role. Cutting promos. His guys have to go over. You got to remember, I think part of the problem with Callis feeling legit is Takeshka up and down. Sometimes he's booked great. Sometimes he's not. Fletcher's been booked good, but where is he going? Like, why? If you had Fletcher versus Ospreay at Revolution for the world title, that pay-per-view is a 10. That match is high praise, and Fletcher can at least move on, being that he fell short to the world champion. But with a guy like Callis, Fletcher could be a world champion. Anything's better than Moxley. It has to be. Huge, huge. Cyrus the Virus versus Paulie, dangerously, phone on a pole match. Let's go. King for the win. Did I take that one down? I did. Is Callis related to the guy who was the Jackal? I don't know if you're being funny or not, but he is the Jackal. The Jackal. It's a Jackal. Jackal? No, it wasn't right the first 10 times, but yes, that is the Jackal. How is Brody not AEW's Jacob Fatu? Exactly. Brody should be a guy that when his music hits, everybody stands up because somebody's about to get mashed. That's what should be happening with Brody King. Again, I like Kyle Fletcher, but you don't really need to book him in this match with Kyle Fletcher and have it be competitive. Brody King should be killing people, and Brody King would be great as a threat to a babyface champion. You don't have many of those, though. DVD on the apron, I think it was. Both men down. KJ, Tony doesn't see where they're going. Yeah, exactly, right? I might not see where they're going because they might not have picked the direction. Brody's April 4th, and never saw the trailer. Anthony are into Fire Country on Friday tonight to check out. Interesting. Good to see you, Denisha. Brody is a big dude. He's a tank. Oh, there you go. I get it. Dijak is my pick to win MLW Battle Riot. Christopher, Dijak makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. I don't trust the WWE with the House of Black. If that came true, they'd end up like the Wyatt Six. I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is I think Malachi gets to be the X Factor. So I feel like when they were dealing with Bray Wyatt, Bray kind of had was kind of the brain behind the mission, and then you just round it out for him. I think Malachi's kind of like that. I don't know, and I don't want to discredit Bo or what they've done because it's been a flop. I don't want them to be uber spooky, creepy, but more of that dark, culty, Satanist worship. We're dark and evil more than we are, paranormal. We're not going to be just popping up everywhere. I think Malachi Black was booked so well in NXT. You just got to run back that playbook. Good match. I agree with you all the way. I think the Death Riders actually terrorize the show. Would be interesting right now. It just feels like Mox is kind of weak. He does. Mox has spent too much time running away. I mean, we saw it when they got a hold of Marina and he's in the crowd and he's biting his nails. Well, what big badass, take no bullshit, I'm going to crush your bones and drink your blood type of, mofo. What type of guy like that is in the crowd biting his nails? Like, it's a weird take, right? He hasn't looked strong. He hasn't looked forceful. And they say, like, he cuts a promo like they just torched the earth and it's hellfire and brimstone. But he hasn't done shit. He has not done shit. It's like if you have that friend that, like, a fight breaks out and the guy that doesn't get involved, but after the fight, he's like, oh, did you see me? I grabbed a couple guys. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That's kind of like Moxley. Like, you better watch out. I'll do more of that. Do more of what? Do more of what? That's my question. Dun, dun, dun. Good match, and it was given time. Yep, it's still going. Actually, this one's still going for sure. We're still waiting for Mox to take over TBS. Facts. Right? Again, like, those were the moments where you can't cry wolf because it assassinates the character that's actually responsible. So if you say Mox is taking over TBS, he's got to take over TBS. If he comes out and cuts a promo, now you are cutting his legs off. You are making him essentially ballless because, again, his words don't mean anything. W Evolve today, guys. Watch LFG. It's better. I like both. I mean, LFG's been good. I really enjoyed this week. Finally caught up on the LFG programming. There's a lot of wrestling. Fletcher has Brody up. Stalling Tombstone. Should have never happened. I think they don't know what to do with the Wyatt Six for two reasons. One, it was Bray's baby. Two, too many members. I think a couple other things might be at play, and I'm holding out and I'm hoping, and maybe I'm being naive, but I feel like they were so focused on bringing them in that they didn't know where to go from there. And I do believe there was some injuries. I do believe they were dragging a little, trying to figure out Alexa. Now Alexa's MIA. Listen, to me, right now, as I sit here, the Wyatt Six is one of Triple H's kind of big, kind of noticeable fumbles, if you will. To an extent. Can he fix it? He can fix it, but we're all kind of getting impatient. It's been a while. Not seeing the AEW World title in months is insanity. What the hell is wrong with Mox? Again, Tony Khan, And people can debate that, oh, that's the point, guys. That's the point. See, he took over the company. You haven't seen the belt. No, it's a bad take. You have no representation of who is at the top of the mountain. Yet I see everybody else with belts. But Davis helps Fletcher. Why would Fletcher be confused by that? As the crowd the crowd boos Mark Davis. Crotchy unit would destroy the Death Riders. Well, yeah, they're presented like that. Wyatt 6 is an art house project. House of Black is a killing crew. I like that, Chair. I kind of like how you put that. And again, I do agree with Kid Rivos to the idea, and I kind of touched on it. That was Bray's baby. And it doesn't matter how talented Bo is or Triple H is, it's Bray's vision. So I'm hopeful, but I don't know. But Brody, Fletcher, setting up. Oh my God, that was brutal. Wow. The turnbuckle twisting suplex dropped him on his head. Mark Davis is pumped. Okay. Fletcher gets the dub, folks. I was against it from day one, the debut. I know you and I talked about this quite a while. Almost changed my mind, but then it fell off. Yeah, I mean, I was so into Bray and so into the QR codes and the chase and the mystery that when they I was just so happy at the idea that they were going to continue the story. And not as a tribute, not as a duplicate or a bad ripoff, but a continuation of the story, a new chapter, a new kind of take on it all. And you're right. They had this crazy, oh my God, they're here. And then nothing. But here comes Powerhouse Hobbs. So we're going to go straight into the next match, guys, which is hilarious. No time to breathe here on AEW tonight. Hobbs coming in from behind. There you go. As Davis and Hobbs are set to take on each other. King takes out Fletcher. Wow, King goes down hard on that apron. Brody King. LFG was really good this week. Bailey Humphries scares me. Oh my God. And to go back to Crush, that head squeeze. Whoa. She is on a next level. RJ City was funny at first, then he just became unfunny all of a sudden. RJ City produced this Death Rider story. That's the problem. Why the fuck is RJ City producing anything? And I know you say at the end, not surprised, and I'm not shooting at you because you get it, Unbroken. To me, that's the problem. Will Washington, RJ City, Jennifer Pepper Potts. Again, a lot of people involved in writing, but they don't seem to have a real good understanding of pro wrestling psychology, even movie psychology. Like some of the shit they're getting wrong is basic movie 101, storytelling 101, like antagonist, protagonist, an arc, and something to overcome. RJ City, I don't get what his background is, and if I offended, sorry. But where are we going with it? What's the point? Bailey Humphries is so MDB. I don't want to go too far in it, but I was watching last night, thinking, it's crazy. It's crazy, but definitely intimidating. Wyatt 6 are just jobbers. 316, that's inaccurate. They have not done a job for anybody. To be a jobber, you must do jobs. And they have not jobbed to anyone. They are actually less than that because they don't get booked. Just helping correct you, big guy. This match cooking. It was a fun match. Long as hell, though. I would agree. And then it bleeds. So now this just feels like one kind of long segment, but not bad. Not bad. Show has definitely been better than last week for the first hour. Kyle is bumping like a pinball for this guy. Yeah, but so is Brody. I think the Wyatt Six are having the whole issue as not wanting to operate with someone missing. So the injury has been has kind of left things up in the air. People complain, but when the music hits again, I mean, you're right. You're 100% right. I mean, that's the funny part about wrestling fans being a little fickle. I will instantly give it an opportunity. I'll get excited about it. But when they come back, and again, especially with, it wasn't like Dexter got hurt, Uncle Howdy got hurt. He's kind of central to all of this. So, yeah, it's a little frustrating. My hope is don't do a whole lot of teasing unless it's on social media. Just show up. Show up, run amok, kind of like I said about the Death Riders. Just be there and make an impact. They need to make an impact quick. We kicking out a tombstone. My biggest pet peeve in wrestling. Interference. What did Fletcher need help to win? Yes. But security has Davis and Hobbs separated right now, even though they're about to have a match. What is happening? Yo, did you guys see who was security? Yo, does anyone realize who's right behind Hobbs? I don't know if this has been the case before, but it's the first time I've noticed him. Anybody notice the blonde guy with the ponytail? Now, security is stopping them from starting the match. In the company that every match has a jump start. But does anybody recognize homeboy in the back? Von Wagner. Let's go. So Von Wagner, former NXT talent, didn't quite work out. We all know he's got a famous dad, which I do believe is Matt Bloom, but I want to confirm before I put my foot in my mouth. Calvin Bloom, yes. So Calvin Bloom, seen on AEW TV. Yep, that's Von Wagner. That's 100% Von Wagner. You do not see that chin and not recognize who the man is. Yeah, Wagner working security for AEW. Who was it? There you go. It was Von Wagner. Yeah, good call. Good call, guys. Yeah, the minute the camera was there, and I mean, he's such a big dude, and that face is kind of unrecognized, like, is easy to pick out. Sorry. If No Dallas is injured, I want to back to healthy. Has it possible they judge it to judge? Is it possible they judge it first? I just don't think fair. I agree with that. And I do think that's a lot of what wrestling fans do. I debated this last night about the dark state with Nick of let's see what they do before we think they suck. And I think the Wyatt Six, same thing. If it was injured, like up till now, we can say, man, we wish they had done more. But if an injury caused it to be delayed, we're okay. But Hobbs and Davis going toe-to-toe, 76 taking Hobbs, 11 taking Davis, 13 taking nobody. Von Wagner, that is so funny. They didn't offer him a job. They didn't offer him just, you want to be security? Yeah, that's Von Wagner. Jan Wagner. Yes, it was. Look at the size of him compared to the rest of the other security. Yeah, that's what stood out. Hey, who is that big? Hey, I know that guy. AEW been booking Davis a lot lately. Yeah, they like Mark Davis. And they, they kind of did the flip-floppy booking with him. And it's over. Speaking of flip-floppy booking. But Powerhouse Hobbs with a convincing win. I like this win for Hobbs. They should team Von Wagner up with Big Bill. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't get the conflict. Why Davis is conflicted. I don't know if Davis, just has mood swings that he doesn't know how to control. I don't know. 1 minute he comes back and he's like, I hate the Cows family. Then he's like, I'm with them. Then I hate them. Then I'm not sure. You need consistency. Consistency is king. Bump, bump, skyscrapers. Let's go. KJ, you hear the news about Hammerstone and Kevin Knight. What was the news? That's interesting. Tony Khan tried to sneak some NXT into the show. Yeah, they're right. It's just funny because usually when somebody gets released, you're like, do they sign with another company? We haven't seen Von Wagner, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't even seen him like indie booking, right? But we're in the back with Kip, Nick Wayne, and the only thing we care about in this group, Nick Wayne's mom. I'm tired of Mark Davis. Mark Davis is an okay big guy, right? He's like Brody King light. He's Diet Brody King. What do you want? Again, what are you doing with him? Where is he going? Are you setting up Mark Davis for Fletcher? Nobody's going to pay a ticket, buy a ticket to see that. That's not, I don't care. So Nick Wayne, the newest child, cutting promos in, at least doing an interview. So Nick Wayne's got issues, but last week he was still trying to beat up Edge. Continuity again, folks. Consistency is king. But we go to a commercial break, and ladies and gentlemen, we will take a quick word from our sponsors. That's right, folks. Get yours today. Go get your Wrestling for Life merch. Go hit our store up. We got all the things you can want, including our new releases, which do include, of course, our Tea Time with Tony, our Real Reaction, Cry Me a River. Shout out to all that have been accused of not being real and authentic. Of course, don't forget, we can support a good cause. And, of course, you can just make fun of Jericho. That's also fun, too. So go get yours today. Join the family. Rep it hard. And, again, if you go to a live wrestling show and you take a sign with our logo on it, we will send you a T-shirt for doing so. But I am back. We are rolling. We are in the second hour. Lots have happened. The first hour went by quick. How do you feel about the first hour of Dynamite this week? I'll be honest, I nothing overly amazing, nothing terrible. Put it that way. Brandon, how you doing? We appreciate it, Geekbox. Sexy is as sexy does. I don't even know what that means. Hobbs needs a character repackage. Hobbs has been repackaged a couple times. So remember he was doing the whole, talking about his upbringing and kind of going real with it. That fell off. Then Hobbs came back a bad guy. Then he became a good guy. Bad guy, good guy. They just need to plan things out. Nick Wayne, a new gimmick. Nick Wayne should be on Ring of Honor. I don't care about Nick Wayne fighting anybody. It's like Hook. I don't have interest in the kids. I'm sorry, and maybe that's my bad as a wrestling fan. I have watched a lot of Nick Wayne. We were here live when Nick Wayne won the Jersey J Cup. The East-West Express were an outstanding tag team on the independent scene. Nick Wayne as a kid. Nick Wayne is hindered by his mom's presence because most of us are looking at her, not him. But Nick Wayne, Hook, Yuta, Daniel Garcia, these are guys. Again, I think for me growing up, pro wrestlers were larger than life. Now I see these guys, and I mean, nobody's going to run the other direction if you bumped into Nick Wayne in an alley. Nick Wayne, oh, wait, Swerve and Page. Oh. Swerve and Paige getting in each other's face. How did you feel about the Speedball promo? Didn't really like it. He needs to practice a little. Speedball not known for a big promo from my experience. Seems like a super nice guy, but very low key. The interesting part is you brought him in as this like big baby face. Like, at least that's how I felt about his presentation. Oh my God, Speedball's here. He's this, karate champion. He's a kung fu champ, whatever it is. He had all these accolades. And then tonight he comes out and talks about kicking Kenny's head off, and the crowd boos. So now we're getting that mixed emotion, that mixed message again. Not everybody in the company can be gray. Not everybody can be a tweener. You need heels. You need baby faces. You need definitive roles. But we go to FTR and the Rated R Superstar with Tony Schiavone. Hey, yo. Feel free to clip my merch plug last week. Facts. I got to do that. That's a good shout. Don't be a birch. Get some merch. Yeah, Ken, perfect. The first hour was okay, but consistent. Yeah, I thought it was all right. Terry. Book thing. You make my heart sing. A book thing. Thanks so much, for the super chat, Geek Box. Right now, I got Dax. I feel like I'm at an AA meeting. Edge cutting him off. Dax. Okay. So Dax is saying Cope pulled them away from the tag titles. So Dax is apologizing. A lot of storylines around like, you love me, I love you. What I want badly is the Wyatt Six to return and target Cena, because Bray was right all along and Cena made Bray look like a liar and must pay. That'd be insane, Geekbox. As much as I think that would be really cool, I do have my doubts about them being willing to go that way, but that would be, again, good storytelling, bring it full circle. Okay. Wheeler talking about sleeping in his car with his fofo. Speculation. I just want to get along. I want my two best friends. Okay. Nick Wayne has not even earned a spot in the Ring of Honor. Again, he's young. He's talented. Send him back. Him being on your regular programming doesn't add anything to the show. People aren't buying tickets for Nick Wayne. They're just not. I think he's a good kid. I think he's a talented kid. I just think there's other talent that should be taking up TV time. Nick Wayne being mad at Christian should smack the shit out of him and move on with his life. It shouldn't be a dragged out, some type of story or angle. Now that we're in it, you kind of got to do it. But literally, Christian should smack the shit out of Nick Wayne and move on. Okay. That sucked. Okay. So Adam Copeland continues to not really do my favorite shit. If anybody's not seeing what I can see, how this breaks down right now for this particular show, guys. Copeland, Dax said sorry for being emotional. Copeland said, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Wheeler said, I just want to love everybody. And then they've decided they're going to go after the trios titles. Did anybody even remember the trios titles were a thing? So apparently, that's where we're heading. We had a whole sit-down segment with Schiavone so these guys could make up on a minimal situation. But here comes Swerve, set to call out Moxley. I'm going to say this, and I truly mean it. I feel like Tony Khan has paced this show very well. Feels like a very fast-paced show today. Other than a little bit of the talking went a little long with Kenny, and more speedball than Ricochet, then back to Kenny. But we are getting a replay from Collision 2 weeks ago where Mox showed up and took out Swerve. So, yeah, we did this whole segment. How did you guys feel about this rated FTR segment? It made, to me, I didn't love it, but I still think FTR will turn on Edge at Dynasty. But why? Then what do you do? So, Nick, Wayne, and Kip turn on Christian, force Christian to become a babyface. Then FTR turn on Edge, and Edge needs a friend. Now, Christian, who's now born-again babyface, can circle back and help his buddy. Segment was lame. Yes, Tom, I did mention that. I caught it as we were live. Hated it. David hated it. Let's go. To me, it's just, it didn't matter. That you could have accomplished with like an interaction backstage. Hey, man, what's your problem been? Well, you took us away from the tag titles, man. This is bullshit. We're tired of always worrying about your stuff. What about our stuff? Hey, man, I love you. I didn't mean for that to happen. Hey, guys, can't we all just get along? Yeah, let's go after the trios belts. High five. And we move on. A sit down with Tony Schiavone. It just, Moxley, Copeland, Sasha Banks. This is the worst stuff in AEW. They got really good shit on AEW. Some of the worst stuff is their best guys. Book it. Let's go. As Moxley's coming out to the ring, by the way, folks. Is that a demotion for Cope from AEW World title contention to the Trios title? Yeah, because we forgot the Trios title were a thing. Now, if Cope is unsuccessful at winning the world title, you need Cope to do something. I guess that something is Trios belts. To me, the Trios belts should be retired. The Trios belts were only brought in to appease the Young Bucks and their soft egos. So I would move on from the Trios belts. I think the Death Riders still have them. They've never really, what have they done with them? I guess rated FTR might give it hope, but I still think, even though we had this little kumbaya moment, I don't trust it. Chris Nana should have turned on Swerve. Terry, I said at a Revolution, if you wanted to make an impact, if you wanted to have things cool, Prince Nana turns on Swerve. Post-match, so Swerve's still number one contender, and then Prince Nana lets Ricochet keep the robe, and Prince Nana becomes the mouthpiece for Ricochet. Ricochet desperately needs a mouthpiece. Nana would have been good. But we got Moxley. We got Swerve face-to-face. And it's Moxley solo. Hook has so much talent. I hope he goes to WWE. AEW is not booking Hook right. Hook has potential more than he has talent. I mean, again, it's in his blood. Could Hook kind of mature and become something? Yes. Hook should be like the pure champion in Ring of Honor right now. Hook should be in some type of training program. I'm not saying he isn't. I don't know for a fact. But again, Hook doesn't put intimidation into anybody. And then when you see him beating up Brody King, that's when you check out. As a fan, that's when I give up. Right? When I see a guy like Brody King getting pinned by Darby Allin, I struggle unless you tell a really good story. Unless you make me believe like a Eddie Guerrero or a Rey Mysterio or a Daniel Bryan. You got to make me believe. And if it's just this kid with a bad attitude, somebody like literally Samoa Joe put him on his knee and spanked the shit out of him. Okay, Swerve cooking out the gate here. Swerve is definitely losing a dynasty. Just cost him. Better not be Yuta. Oh. Yuta is giving everybody a fucking aneurysm, to be honest. Some fake deep therapy massage with Schiavone is not something we needed at all. Yeah, right? No, we didn't need it. I don't get what that was. It felt like an AA meeting of like, I have feelings. We all have feelings. Thank you for coming. I am Adam. It just felt like a weird vibe. It felt like a weird vibe altogether. Like we're having a sit down with Tony to talk about are like why I'm upset. Was this marriage counseling? Get the fuck out of here. I couldn't tell who's the champs. So serious. I don't know. I think it's the Death Riders, right? But by the way, Claudio's behind Nana. Turn around. Turn around. Moxley is bloodline Roman, but not good. Yeah, it's not even the same thing. I agree, KJ. Get rid of the trios titles. Get rid of them. Make your tag team division good again. You have a really good tag team champion right now. You have Bobby. You have Shelton. They should be dusting people. Give them bookings. Give them important matches. Build up your tag team division. Give us some tag team wrestling. They're still doing this whole. Does Nana still not know he's there? Would you not? Would you not get like a little, wait, what the fuck's behind me? AEW keeps reheating their nachos, and I'm tired of it. It gets soggy, right? Dude, as a guy who made a really fucking amazing batch of nachos 2 days ago for the Fam Jam, I mean, I get it, man. It just gets soggy. You can't just keep throwing them in the microwave hoping for the best. Cash messing up his lines a little bit, right? Wait until TK brings in the quad for tag title. No, don't do it. Don't do it. This segment is crashing hard. Nobody cares about Moxley, and you can tell by the apathy in the crowd. Swerve talks, they get a little, hey! But I agree with AJ. No heat. The worst things on the show, Moxley, Adam Copeland, Mercedes Moné, if you just take them out and use the talent we want to see, you gotta, maybe don't let your talent only show up twice a month. And some of the people we want to see more, we see more. But Moxley is boring, and Moxley, like Jericho, believes his own hype. Moxley is the guy that could read an entire fucking novel of just critiques of his performance. He'd close the book and say, they're full of shit. That's bullshit. I'm great. I'm great. Look, the crowd, he killed the crowd. It's guys like you that give me hope for the future. What the fuck? Cringe Mox. Mox is boring. Nobody knows what he's saying. It's not even provocative, and it doesn't get the people going. It's the complete opposite. I don't care what kind of punk-ass organization they're running here. So Moxie kind of makes a dig at the company he works for that he's not really feuding with. Therefore, the company it just sounds like he's insulting his employer. I can't. It's just generic white guy. It's gravelly white guy. I'm gonna crush your bones. Ricochet announced next week he's marrying Samantha Irvin. Good for him. Congrats. Love is in the air. Yeah, exactly, MDB. And the crowd is dead right now. This has gone long. Claudio's still standing behind Nana. Does Nana not know yet? Here's Marina. Here's Willow. Willow's got a pipe. Willow's got a pipe. Hook doesn't have potential or talent. You can beat him up. I think the kid has some maturing to do. I think as being a technical wrestler, I think he has a pretty good understanding of it. Wow. Give the belt to Swerve. I saw a still of the board in the back of Moxie from last week, and it looked like a tweaker trying to brush that one. Snaggled yellow too. That's too funny. I can't make out Moxie's accent. Nobody really can. I got a bad feeling that the Young Bucks are coming back to beat up the Hurt Syndicate. It's going to be an amazing wreck. I mean, the problem is, again, does anybody out there have this belief that the Young Bucks could beat Shelton and Bobby? I don't. And again, that will be another thing that Tony Khan puts on the show. that is weaker than other things that you have at your disposal. That's my biggest frustration. Is this Moxley shit is killing this show. So Moxley rolls out like it's nothing. It's boring. Like, this is not how an unhinged, badass bully behaves. Where is his wild side? You heard me, Mox. Where? Oh, wait, Marina grabs Willow. So everybody thinks it's over. Marina goes back. And we got to fight. Swerve doesn't know what to do with himself. Claudio grabs Marina. See, to me, this is stupid. As now, Claudio's trying to carry the suitcase with the belt and Marina away. When again, you want to get real heat, Claudio should have went over as a bad guy and just held Willow, just grabbed Willow's arms and let Marina land some shots. The Death Riders have spent way too many times running away. Death Riders, Jesus, why does Mox cut these weird baby face light promos as a heel? Because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Then he breaks into this "I got hope for you, kid" speech, and it doesn't add up. Speaking of kids, I got Samoa Joe and Hook. Interesting. This is so bad I can't look away. Again, we said the first hour was pretty good, pretty exciting. The first hour, good matches. It felt the pace of the show was really fast, but then we hit like an Adam Copeland segment, pulls the brakes back a little, right? And then we get a Moxley segment, pulls back the brakes a little more. Now we're starting to taper this show off, and the sad part is it's the people that are supposed to be the highlight of this show are now becoming the worst part of the show. And that is where Tony Khan's got to listen to your crowd. If Harley Cameron is getting a bigger pop than your world champion, there's a problem in the company. As Joe chokes out Caster. Poor Caster. Mox bearing AEW. What the fuck? It's so weird. Because he's non-committal about it, so it actually comes off like a legit dig, but not in a good way. So Top Flight, Hook, okay. Okay, Max Caster continues to get the shit kicked out of him. Willow here, yes. Cesaro needs Sheamus and Sheamus. Yeah, I would agree, man. We need the bar. We need the bar. That's the one thing I was like, let Sheamus go to AEW and just have the bar versus the Hurt Business. We're good to go. Swerve carried that segment. Swerve is more believable. Swerve is more convincing. Swerve is damn good. Give that belt to Swerve. Then you set up, think of the list that you didn't take advantage of in the past. But there's so much you can do with Swerve. Swerve has history with Paige. Swerve has history with MJF. Swerve Osprey. Swerve Ricochet. Swerve. These are the guys that make this the cool, exciting company. These are the guys that we all want to cheer for weekly. We don't give a fuck about Jericho. We don't care about... I hate to say this because I love the guy for so long, but I don't care about Cope. I don't care about his trios packed with FTR. FTR were one of my favorite tag teams ever, and they fell off. They work once every 3 months. Cope in this whole storyline, I don't care. Now you got Moxley. We don't care. But you got Fletcher. You got Swerve. You got Brody King. You got Buddy Matthews. I know he's not, I almost said knocked up, banged up. But you have talent we want to watch. We have talent that will sell more tickets. But Tony Khan's got to be brave. Tony Khan's got to be bold. Tony Khan's got to stand up and make the decisions that are best for this company. Instead of just going to Twitter and saying, we are on a hot run, be on a hot run, then Tony, you won't have to tweet it out. We will tell you. The fans will tweet it out on your behalf. You don't have to go to X and say, oh, another, justified AEW chant. You don't have to do that. We will do it for you. That's what you got to realize. You don't need to bump your own tires or pump your own tires. You don't need to fucking, you don't have to swing your own pom-poms. You don't have to do any of that. We will do it for you if you book the right things. And for me, it's not helping AEW. It doesn't help their argument. And the people out there, I mean, when you look at what's happening in this wrestling world right now, I want AEW to be that edgy, grungy alternative to WWE. And then to do that, you need guys like Swerve. To me, Moxley feels like WWE light, like diet WWE, where he's doing a WWE gimmick poorly in a place that it doesn't fit. And to be honest, that's kind of what Cody ran into for a while, where Cody wanted to do things in a style that didn't fit AEW. It's too polished, too clean, not grimy enough. What do you do? Moxley is a chicken shit heel. Yeah, right? But we all know he's not supposed to be. Why do you talk this way? Be it, if you're going to be a chicken shit heel, be it. But I think when you're in the gray area where you act like a chicken shit heel, but you talk like a world beater, and then you act another way, then you bleed to death, your character has no substance. It's just, you're a chameleon, and in the worst of ways. But we're in the back with Jay White, who gets his weekly segment with Renee Paquette. Anyone notice this? That Jay White just go hang out with Renee? This world title scene has no heat, none, because the guy in the middle of the story, the big bad villain that everybody wants to see taken down, isn't that. Love Swerve's energy. I do too. I think Swerve's great. I think Cedric's going to come in with Lashley faces MJF. Cedric will team up with Shelton, and the Bucks will return and beat them for the titles. I really hope that's not the case. I do see Cedric joining the Hurt Syndicate, but the Bucks going anywhere near those belts, to me, doesn't make sense. Bucks would be another example of guys with belts that we don't give a fuck about. The original Collision Cowboys return on Saturday. All right, folks. I'm not sure what's next. Oh, Top Flight is coming out. I don't know why that's happening. Mox could be blown up with the pyro. Willow is not dressed for a fight. I'm okay with it. A decent pop from Top Flight. Are they from here? Oh, that's Leo Rush. Didn't even know. They're smaller than the fans are standing next to. Hilarious. Bloody hell. Claudio doing too much. Death Riders, my like undie riders, because they are shit. Maddie, welcome back. Welcome back. Old Bucks beating the Hurt group is laughable. Can't do it. The fans want to cheer for the Hurt Syndicate. You need to give them some heels that are annoying that they can beat, but you can't have the Bucks come back and beat the Hurt Business. You can't do it. But we're off and running as we get Top Flight against somebody. All right. Moxley definitely looks like someone who would eat razor blades and nails, no questions asked. There's a woman in Thailand that does it for a living. Moxley seems like the guy that would do crazy shit, but when real shit goes off, he's not there. He walks away. Like, oh, I'll bang my head off the side of this building. Aren't I cool? You want to fight? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm bleeding already. Like, again, it's like a fake bravado. It's fake. He's like toxically male, but pretending to be. Does that make sense? The FTR segment was cringe. Again, it's just grown men. I mean, I haven't had many conversations with my friends of like, bro, we're partying. Oh, I love you, man. Like, not really. Unless we really mash up a night. I don't know what's happening. A lot of emotions. Like they sit down for a heart to heart, and they need Tony Schiavone to play counselor. Everybody buries TNA for firing Gail Kim, but at least it's not a country club that TA is running right now. I mean, fair. And again, this is what I talked about last night is when you start making unfair comparables, like how often have we heard AEW fans about like, oh, look at WWE with the sponsors and the logos. Minecraft lit up right across the screen. So you got to be careful when you insult the other brand. Oh, this is stupid. I can't believe Rey Mysterio's in like the Cheerios match. Well, everybody's in the Minecraft match tonight. I said it last night when we were talking about Chad Gable and this idea that the racism and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I listed off all the reasons why they were wrong. But it made me insult and put down AEW in the process. I was right. It's true. Everything I said was factual. But that's where this gets tricky, right? Like, TK is paying over 150 people to be wrestlers on their shows. We do not see that many people on these shows. Botch, I missed it. TNA fired lots of their management, not just Gail Kim. They went through a downgrading. They went through a resizing, reorganizing. It happens, Terry. And Terry, you are correct. Why is this fight happening? So, I didn't even put a poll up, guys, but Top Flight gets a win. I'm guessing because they're in their hometown. I vote Top Flight. But now are we kind of building up our tag team division here? Top Flight, Leo Rush, and Andrade. And then they go to Keith and you go to Keith and Big Bill, and they look like they dust all of these men together. Now we go to Will Ospreay package. Yeah, I think that match. Can somebody tell me? Are they in like Top Flight's hometown? AEW does more squash matches than WWE now. They do. That's true. I mean, again, depends on the week, Richard, week to week. But I think AEW gets like some of their squash matches aren't viewed as squash matches because that's so and so. Doesn't matter. So next week, Will Ospreay returns. We knew who was winning. Facts. Exactly. Why would we do it? When the Ring of Honor title is the main belt that is displayed on your AEW Dynamite show, that is a whole different promotion. It is a problem. Get it together, Tony. You're right. Again, one of my beefs, one of my issues. If Chris Jericho and Chris Jericho's name value is going to help you sell Ring of Honor, two things. Here's two questions. What's wrong with that idea? Dear Uncle Dave, I love these segments. Dear Uncle Dave, explain this. If Chris Jericho helps you get a deal for Ring of Honor, one, why hasn't it happened? Two, what happens? Oh, so what? You think the company signs over a bunch of money, Tony gets a new deal for Ring of Honor, and then Jericho drops the belt? Wouldn't the people that have just bought the rights to your product go, what the fuck? Three, he's never on that show. Like, show me a Chris Jericho match on Ring of Honor. It doesn't exist, I don't think. Y'all can let me know. But if you're trying to sell me on that show, why not put all your great young talent there? We just saw Leo Rush and on Action Andrade or whatever the fuck. You have all this talent that you could put on Ring of Honor. And then if you sat down with an executive or somebody making decisions at a streaming company and said, watch this. Not this stupid learning tree shit, but like guys really going all out. Bangers. Like, look at this match. Look at the crowd going wild for these guys. And if you made Ring of Honor what Ring of Honor used to be, and make it like almost like NXT Black and Gold, where people were messaging each other like, you got to see this show. Bro, you got to see this match. These guys are tearing it up. These young guys, who look like the future of AEW are killing Ring of Honor. But sadly, that is not the case. Whereas Private Party got their mini little push because that was the only people that the Young Bucks Egos would let them give the belts to, because they're afraid if they gave the belts to an actual team, then they would be deemed less than. So we've seen this happen for 5 years. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time because the Bucks are soft. But we are off and running. I guess I should put a poll up for this one. Y'all got me talking. As we got about 25 minutes left in the show here tonight. A late poll, but let me know who you taking. Is it Takeshka or is it our buddy Mark Briscoe? Bum, bum, bum. So the Don Callis family, by the way, has anyone made a note that the Don Callis family has been dominating Dynamite this week? Well, Takeshka just jumps on Mark's shoulders for him. Is Callis back out here? So why would Callis be out here for Fletcher? Callis would be here for Davis. Oh, he's on commentary again. Get the fuck off commentary. The Alpha for the win. Top Flight, basically been jobbers. Now they wrestle jobbers. Great. Yeah, we literally got a jobber on jobber a match tonight. Killing. My lord. Do appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. We're rolling on. We're almost getting down to the nitty gritty. So the women's tag match looks like it's going to be the main event here tonight, folks. So Takeshka is in control of Mark Briscoe. Love Mark Briscoe. Think this guy should be your TNT champion. Just be a workhorse. You give Mark Briscoe a TNT championship match every 2 weeks and let him burn. But we got Daniel Garcia. I feel like the champions need revamped in AEW altogether. Get rid of all the Ring of Honor belts. Tell Mercedes to give back 3 of her fucking belts. It's distracting and confusing everybody. And you got to start making these belts feel important. The only belt that really, truly feels important for me is the women's title, Toni Storm. And you guys can let me know out there, how do you feel? Am I right? Am I wrong? Are there other titles that kind of feel important right now? The TNT title, dead. Trios title, dead. Tag team titles, Hurt Business are saving them, reviving them. Clear? The logic is bad. How does Jericho being Ring of Honor champ on a Dynamite help Ring of Honor when if I went to the Ring of Honor champ, he is constantly on a different promotion and not the one he has the belt for. Exactly, my man. That's exactly the issue. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't make any sense. I don't quite get it. It's almost like they're trying to like roll back the speedometer on a car, like, oh, it's only got 100,000 K on it, or miles. Sorry, miles. But yeah, man, I think it's like it's almost like you're gonna buy a car with a custom interior, and then when you buy the car, they take the interior out and give you the stock. Like that's kind of the vibe of like a bait and switch. But the problem is, when we go to look at the car, that interior is not in it anyway. So why would we make the purchase? So it's all fucking convoluted and backwards. Let's see what the chat is saying here. 88, 8% Mark, 4% nobody, 89% Takeshka. But yeah, no, none of it makes sense with Jericho. And again, why am I seeing the Ring of Honor title on Dynamite more than the TNT title, more than any other belt? I think they should merge the Continental and the International, one belt, one mid-card, build it up nicely. You have a lot of talent. You can do a lot of things with it. Like I just said, if Mark Briscoe was TNT champion and you had legitimate heels that he had to fight all the time and he was just a workhorse, that is your workhorse title. That gets Dynamite main events. That gets Collision main events. That is a guy that you can build behind. Takeshka did a good job when he had a title, but now he doesn't have that title anymore because you're setting up stuff for July. He was on commentary for Davis match too. Well, Get off commentary. Get off. I thought he spent some time not on commentary. But to me, if he's not on commentary for Fletcher and on commentary for the other two, what does that tell you about the other two? I don't think Tony Khan does enough for Ring of Honor to warrant getting a TV deal. I completely agree. It is throwaway matches, with the exception of like Athena's doing really well. She had a great run. The Righteous, you know how successful the Righteous could be for AEW programming? The Righteous on Dynamite, the Righteous on Collision, Vincent getting the crowd going, that snapping is audience participation. We never see them. They're on Ring of Honor, buried. The Kingdom, a great tag team, never see them, buried. There is options. There's so much that you could book in place of what you're booking now. And again, take all the young, small, little guys and girls, the Billy Starks, the Hooks, the Garcias, the Yutas, take all those talent and put them on Ring of Honor. Nick Wayne's mom manages to heel Nick Wayne for the Ring of Honor TV title. Doesn't that sound okay? It's less egregious than Nick Wayne fighting Christian, right? Nick Wayne fighting babyface blah with his mother in the corner, and she's a pain in the ass, and he keeps winning because of his mama. Doesn't that sound better than him being on the main roster and getting in the way? I'm not complaining. These are not negatives. These are actually really good ideas from me and the chat. What's your thoughts on Chris Jericho versus Bandito officially Dynasty? It shouldn't be a dynasty match. You have Supercard of Honor coming up, I do believe. Again, this is another match where Chris Jericho is going to embarrass himself. If you've watched, and I challenge all you out there, go watch some Bandito matches. Bandito can go. The last time Jericho fought Bandito had to go half speed. That's what he has to do. Because if Bandito goes full out, you'll lose Chris Jericho. Jericho can't keep up. But Jericho's trying to prove to everybody in the world, I can still do it. I'm still the lion heart. Nah, buddy, you are the cholesterol-ridden heart. It is not great. And nobody wants to see it. Don't put it on Dynasty. Don't. Because this is where you get into 13, 14, 15 matches, and fans will pick out their two favorite matches and say, best pay-per-view ever. Leave this one for a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Do that because he's the Ring of Honor champion. Simple. What happened to Archer and Cage wanting the tag belts? Like everything else, give me those belts. No. Okay, bye. I feel dumber every time. Tony Schiavone hasn't sounded this uninterested in something since... As Briscoe dapping up the fans, the perfect place to put Jericho is the moon. To the moon, Alice. Where there is no story behind none of these matches today. It's just pointless matches. I will say this, Bash. My goal today, especially with lately, because I've been getting so much heat, I was like, fuck it. We're just going to focus on the good stuff. And that's what we've done. And the funniest part is if you look at tonight's show, the matches have been okay. I wouldn't say amazing. Anybody going to remember Mark Davis versus Hobbs a month from now? Anybody going to be in this chat in a month going, bro, do you remember that Davis match? No, it's not going to happen. But it's been good. Entertaining. The pace of the show's been good. But meaningless. And the only attempts they had to make something meaningful were the worst parts of the show. Two count. Good match here. Good match. So you have Takeshita and Briscoe put on a barn burner, and then you're going to send the ladies out. 2 weeks in a row, the ladies got a main event. Yeah, exactly. Right? That becomes the issue. I'm not here losing my mind. But again, the Moxley shit sucked. The Copeland shit wasn't great. The Kenny stuff was okay, but a little bit dicey. So you can put people in the ring and they can work. But whoever you have writing your show outside of the wrestling matches, they suck. And they need to be atoned. If it's just Tony, it's on you. If it's whoever you got working for you, RJ City and Will Washington, well, then you got a fucking problem because they don't know what they're doing. Because everything that's angle based on this show was weak sauce. Even the MJF thing was a little bit twisted and not in a good way. Jericho's embarrassed himself just getting out of bed these days. It's facts. He's another one like Moxley that could have a million people tell him that he's terrible, that he shit the bed, that he should retire, and he just thinks his shit don't stink. I think it was MDB that said earlier, you know, he smells his own farts and loves it. Briscoe's been done dirty. Oh, my God, yes. And they missed a huge opportunity with Briscoe to really make him something. He's great. The fans love him. And he never gives you a bad match. 2 count. As we are about 14 minutes left in the show, and this match is still going. Shit. So we got 4 entrances. The finish of this match. But this was other than Cage and Archer, every member of the Callis family fought tonight, right? Takeshita, Davis, Fletcher. Yeah. Big elbow. Forearm. Raging Fire. A.K.A. kind of a Blue Thunder Bomb. And it's over. Big win for Takeshita. Good match. Match of the night for me. Here comes Callis. Distraction again. Callis back into the ring. Darth Shin in the Alpha Tag Team. So the main event gets like 8 minutes, if that. Well, right now, I mean, we are 13 minutes from the end of the show. We go to the trios who are accepting. So we actually have the trios champions together with the belts in the first time in months, I think. Yuta is the guy doing the talking. My parents used to say, kids should be seen and not heard. That's what I feel like Yuta should be told. The righteous should go with Elijah. Right? Remember, that was almost a thing? Jay Driller. That woman main event will be 10 minutes, not even. Because we were doing a backstage, and they're all cutting a promo back on Rated FTR, who Rated FTR didn't even challenge them. They just said to each other, hey, guys, I think we should go after the trios belts. And now they're getting a rebuttal to a non-challenge. You get what I'm saying here? They were having a counseling meeting with the marriage counselor, Tony Schiavone, and they told each other, let's go after the trios titles. And now the Death Riders are here responding as if they've been challenged. Well, shouldn't we let them actually challenge them? You know what you could have done, but because Tony gives everybody so much time off, and Tony does give people way too much time off, in my opinion, what he should have done is when Moxie was standing in the ring with Swerve and Claudio came out, then you have Yuta pop up and you have Pac pop up, and then FTR comes out with Copeland. Rated FTR come out and they all fight off, and now you got Swerve and Moxley and all his goons are gone. I know we've seen it before, but at least now you have a reason to have that fight. Claudio just standing behind Nana made no sense. And yeah, I mean, again, the problem is Pac's probably not in the building tonight. Ricochet's not in the building tonight. Like, multiple people aren't in the building tonight, and Tony uses the "we'll hear from" kind of gimmick to make it work. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are on commercial. We have about 10 minutes to go. We are heading into the main event, which will be a tag match from the ladies. I will remind you, we are back for Wrestling Court on Sunday. If you haven't seen Wrestling Court yet, go check out our old episodes. I believe this is episode 5. John Cena versus the fans. Is John Cena a justified heel, or are the fans right? He sucks, he's overrated, and he ruined the company. We will debate it out. We will have it out. It's going to be a fun one. Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Be there for that. as we get back into court. Don't forget, 7:45 tomorrow, TNA Impact. It will be a fun one, and it's going to be a crazy show. NXT TNA is still a thing. We're still watching it. And, of course, SmackDown, 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time. I know some of you out there work. Maybe you'll catch the back half with me. We will be live at 3:45 on Friday, 3 hours. So we go from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock with SmackDown. So you might catch some of the show. If not, you can watch the replay. But we got lots coming your way. We're getting ready for Dynasty. We're getting ready for Unbreakable and something else from TNA. We're getting ready for lots of things. We're getting ready for Bloodsport. We're getting ready for Mania. So much going on here at the channel, folks. Like, share, subscribe, be a part of the shows, be a part of the fun. And again, if you can take our link, share it with the world, we greatly appreciate it. Our numbers have been cooking, and we want to continue to do so. We want 10K by Mania. It's getting close. It's a big, tall task, but maybe we can pull it off with some help. RJ City is a former wrestler. Wait, what's the TK and the malnourished looking wrestlers? I don't think RJ City ever wrestled. Am I wrong? I don't believe that's the case. Now we go to the back. So again, we're with the Hurt Syndicate. So again, when people talk, like I'll see on a WWE show, see that comparable game, watch the hypocrisy and be careful with it, because there's 8 minutes on the clock and we're in the backstage doing an interview. Okay. Vicious spot. Gotta love Briscoe. And the crowd is always, they love him. Again, Briscoe is an example of a guy that, Tony, just listen to your fan base. Listen to your audience. You got to feed the birdies a little bit, my guy. Must really kill Mox to see Roman and Seth heading WrestleMania with Punk while he has to stick a baseball bat full of nails in his back to get noticed. I think, Matt, in a lot of cases, you'd be correct. Moxley, I think, doesn't care. Moxley, if had, you can main event WrestleMania, or you can set yourself on fire. I think Mox takes setting himself on fire. Mox just fuck Mania. Where's the gasoline? The show is terrible. Ricky, I wouldn't go terrible. Now you can tell me what you think is terrible. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt a little bit this week, my guy. But it's been, again, grading on a scale, it's not the same. Like, I mean, the presentation's not the same. The star quality, the main event tonight on Dynamite is Penelope Ford with Megan Bayne against Tony and Thunder Rosa. Okay. But here comes Megan Bayne. Again, I don't know. If the WWE booked Liv and Raquel versus I don't know, Lash and Jackson, would that be a sufficient Monday Night Raw main event? Maybe. Just depends on how you look at it. Is that the girl from the Ring movie between Claudio and Pac? Right? And he's the one that gets to talk like the leader. So we got Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne getting into the ring. So we got 5 minutes plus however long Tony lets this go. Tony could have given this more time. Get rid of that top flight match. You didn't need that top flight match. Cut that top flight match out. Mark Briscoe, Takeshita start a little earlier, and then you give the ladies a little more time. This whole like purposely bleeding into the overrun kills me. I don't get it. When you don't have anything exciting, just don't do it. There is never any live AEW here in Australia. Maddie, well, they tried, Maddie. But here comes Thunder Rosa. I guess I should put a poll up for this. So let me know who wins. Is it going to be Thunderstorm or trying to think of something crafty here? Bane Ford, I guess, for now. Let me know. Tony Storm over like Rover, folks. Love seeing it. Thunderstorm. I think Megan Bane should pick up this win. This is why Thunder's there, to eat a pin. But I mean, I think the best professional wrestler in AEW right now is Tony Storm. Not the best female wrestler they have, the best wrestler. I think as far as a full package goes, but as far as bringing everything you need to the table, is there anyone better than Tony Storm in AEW? Like, you have Ospreay that does all the athletic, high-flying stuff. Pretty good promo, but not his strong suit. And not really booked as, like, way up here yet. Tony might be the one that brings it all together. Moxley's a mess. Cope's a mess. Swerve's really good. Swerve's up there. Bane elope. There you go, Chris. I like that one. Anyone else got it? Disproves my thoughts about AEW. It's too many indie minds behind the scenes. Too many people that only know indie booking and not episodic booking. Facts. I mean, if you're going to sit down and book a show, you should have. I know that's where I see it online all the time with the wrestling fans of, oh, I can't believe it. But literally, the average wrestling company, and Triple H has talked about it in the past, he has, they have a plan. Plans change, but they have an overall idea. It's going to be these two people at WrestleMania. Now we got to work backwards. How do we get there from here? And it should be 6 months, 6 to 8 month windows where you're planning out your story arcs. And you should know what everybody's doing. Again, things change and everything's perfect, but that's how you get an episodic show. It's the same thing like when actors sit down for a new season and we're going to film a new season of a show. They don't give you one episode. You get the season, or at least an overview. Now, week to week, something might change as far as taping goes, or the script might change up, or they want to tweak something. But overall, you know what the story is going to be told. So when you sit down with two wrestlers, you have to know where the story is. What is the beginning of the story? What is the end of the story? Now let's fill in the blanks. As Tony tagging Thunder. 72% going Thunder. Bane Ford getting 16. Nobody getting 9-ish, 10. So there you go. This is the main event. The mega boobies for the win. Tony. Oh, little Hardy's action. As Tony and Thunder Rosa working really well together. And Luther at ringside getting the fans jazzed. This has been, would you agree? This might be the best energy the crowd's had all night. It's crazy. Kevin Knight on Collision? Did that get announced? Hayter returns Saturday. Why is Hayter returning on Saturday? Hayter's got to be treated like a former champion. They forgot she had the belt. Megalope. I kind of like Megalope. That might work. Mercedes will be on Collision. Nobody cares. Good one, AB. Banelope. I like it. Mixed tag next week on Dynamite. What's the mixed tag going to be? The crowd awake. Yeah. Tony and Thunder Rosa, Bane and Penelope. Say what you want about any of these women. They actually have the crowd up and jazzed. I don't think they've had this much energy at any other point. Maybe the beginning with Kenny. Swerve got them on their feet a little bit, but not a lot. This might be the best thing they've brought to us tonight. As we are at the top of the hour in picture, and I know I took shit for this before. I fucking hate the idea that is the top of the hour when you were trying to maybe, kind of catch on the last people, the last set of eyes. The fact that you're in commercial right now at 10 o'clock is fucking strange to me. People bitching all about WWE's commercials. You're doing a commercial at the top of the hour. It's weird. Yeah, again, like, am I like freaking out? Like, oh my God, no. I'm not pulling a JD from New York screaming at the screen for no reason. I just don't get the mindset behind it. Puppies! Not allowed to say that anymore. Commercial is rated 10. They do it every week now. The last match starts really late, 2-3 minutes before the top of the hour, and they go into a commercial break. It is fucked. They are fucking the main event almost every week. And the last 2 weeks, they put women in it with barely any hope for the women to succeed because of what you book behind it. Tonight, the fans are more into this than they've been into anything else. The point of an overrun is to showcase the end of the show. It's stupid they do this. Yeah, an overrun is supposed to be a spontaneous moment caused by whatever you're showing not being concluded by the end of the hour. Therefore, on the occasions when you do an overrun, it's, folks, we're going to stay with this to the end of the show. But Tony has effectively killed that. That is literally, welcome to Dynamite. It is a 2-hour and 8-minute show. And he doesn't take advantage of that. Once in a while, a good overrun makes sense. And I know, like I said, I took some heat of like, why are you hating on the fact that there's an overrun? I hate the process. I hate the mindset behind it. I hate like what it's counterintuitive. It really is. And it's those little things that by the end of the show now, I thought the first hour was strong. I feel a little bit less excited about this show as we wrap up. Anything exciting happen? I stopped watching. Not really. Fair enough. Folks, we are winding down. Again, not a whole lot of time for the women. And I do appreciate everyone hanging out with me tonight. Been a fun one. Even if I'm a little bit under the weather, it's been a good one. Only had to hit the sneeze cam once, which is great, but we'll be good as new tomorrow. She's going to have to go to the boob store if she wants to keep that name, which we might. Kevin Knight versus Jay White confirmed for Collision. Okay. So we saw Jay White kind of put out a thing like, I'm going to be on Collision. But Kevin Knight, that's interesting. Now, if this is just one of those moments where they use Kevin Knight, but he's not signed, interesting. The show definitely took a downward spin. Terry, I'm kind of with you. And then not a horrible one. Like, I'm not. Last week, you all saw the pit of my rage. The week before, you saw a pretty angry KJ. This show just kind of feels flat. Like, just not bad, not good, good enough. Big clothesline, Bane to the outside. Bane yanking Tony out, so Bane continues to look like a badass. Hi, I'm the IWC. What does a woman feel like? Paul. That's why we can't be in it. We're excluded, right? That's why it started WFU. For people that actually have contact with other human people. Listen, gentlemen, behave. Scare all the women away. Wow, Death Valley Driver on Ford. Whew. WWE interested in Kevin Knight? They should be. Kevin Knight's a talented kid. John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. This is where we've come to. That's how excited the chat is about the current presentation. Bane takes out Thunder. Tony back into the ring. Forearm chop. Forearm chop. Reversal. Big forearm. A women's tag match as a main event to end the show. What are they fighting for? Right? I don't mind the women. And again, Tony gets criticized for booking the women. So he's done this before. He did this a few months ago. If you guys can remember, he got criticized. Remember that someone held up the sign, book women better? And 2 weeks in a row, we got women's main events. But that's not better. Just putting them in the main event is not better. It's almost like when you give a kid shit and they like, go clean your room, and they stubbornly just shove shit in the closet. They didn't actually clean, but it looks better, right? That's what Tony does. 2. As Bane no-sells Tony. But that's what it is, man. It makes me laugh. That, we'll put him in the main event spot. Okay, but you gave him, you give him fucking 7 minutes to work. And it's the best thing you gave us all night. F5. You can't tell us to behave when there is. Oh, shit. That was a weird ending. Megan Bane gets the dub. Megan Bane gets the W. I thought it might be a little more underhanded but hey, Megan Bane looks like a star. And I've been asking, book your talent that you're introducing like stars. This is a better feel. The Stars, Oilers next. Terry, let's go. Setting up Bane versus Storm. Yeah, Bane versus Storm at Dynasty, Christopher. See, even fans are like, why is this match happening? Because they've already booked it. But Tony's upset. Thunder's consoling. Penelope, I give Penelope credit. She's a very good looking woman, and she talks shit. Like, she just leaned in the camera and she's running her mouth. She's actually working pretty good as a heater for Bane. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is Dynamite. That is the show. That is all she wrote tonight. What did you like? What did you like? I'll hang around for a few more minutes, and then I got to go dip my head in a bunch of hot water. But let me know. What is your rating out of 10? We take a rating out of 10 for all the shows. How did you feel about it? What was good? What was bad? What was in between? But this is an interesting show. Again, I think it wasn't a bad show. But again, it's like when you would tune into like Ring of Honor, when you find like Ring of Honor on like Fox 27 or Fox 44 on a Sunday afternoon. It just doesn't feel the same level of what we watched the last couple nights. Nothing overly insulted me tonight. Nothing overly made me mad. Nothing was overly like wrong with the show. It just right down the middle. This was like a very, I don't know if mid's the right word, good matches. Anything they did outside of matches sucked, but overall, I didn't hate it. Let's see how the fans felt. She beat her clean. Wow. Yeah, I thought like, Penelope would have hit her with a chair or Penelope would have grabbed her foot and caused her to trip, or they pinned Thunder. But no, just straight up beat Tony clean. So again, that's a big, bold statement. They needed to cut the rated FTR and Top Flight segments to give this some more time. The best part of the show got the least amount of time tonight. It's fucked up. Again, Tony Khan is Tony Khan's worst enemy. Tony Khan needs to listen to the fan base. The fans are cheering for what they want. The fans are booing for the guys that they don't like. And the crowd is quiet for the shit they don't care about. Tony's got to do a better job of figuring that out. 5. Okay. I could argue that the booking Megan hard too quickly because she's definitely losing a Tony now. That's the question, though. If she goes into Dynasty and loses and it doesn't amount to anything, then we got a problem. You might take away all the power. I think she just goes in and wins. That gave me a solo pinning Cody vibes at Money in the Bank. Facts. 6 out of 10. 4.25. Hated most of it. Loved the main event for reasons. Facts. 6 out of 10 for tonight's show. 2 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Glad I didn't go to the show. 5.1 out of 10. 6.5. 6. It was seasoned boiled chicken tonight. Yeah, but it was just seasoned with like a little bit of salt and pepper. That was it. It's like, British seasoning, salt, pepper. We're good. But yeah, it had a little bit of saltiness to it, a little bit of pepper, but not much else. It was a really weird show. 6 out of 10, 2 very good matches, and then they fed me 3 squash matches, a Rush women's tag, and a mid-promo segment. And you will hear the faithful, the diehards say, oh, well, look how good they booked this women's division. 2 weeks in a row, main events, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, give them time. Don't give me that Top Flight match. Give the women time to cook without this, like this preset overrun now is becoming bullshit. And again, it doesn't affect the overall show left or right. It just defeats the purpose. Yeah, I bet 6.5, 6, 4. I think I'm going to go 6. I think I'll be nice enough to go 6 tonight. You caught that, did you? You caught that. Who the hell is Kevin Knight, and why would I care? Why would I carve out time on my weekend to watch a nobody? It'll not interesting. Stop enabling me this trash. So here's the dilemma. And you got a very good point. Dynasty is April 6th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We will be here live for Dynasty. Next Thursday is our Dynasty preview show. Man, we got lots coming your way. But here's the thing. My last comment back to Mr. Noob, and then I will say goodnight to everybody. But this is the problem, because when you book to a pocket group, and that's why the overall numbers of viewers and the ticket sales are kind of plateaued, is because there are people that will carve out time to see a Kevin Knight match. I know who Kevin Knight is, but I watch a stupid amount of wrestling. Would I go out of my way to watch a Kevin? Oh, I got to tune in on Saturday to see that? No, I don't. If you want me to be excited, well, you got to build it into your flagship show. And as of right now, until you do a brand split, which I don't think you're going to do, your flagship show on Dynamite should bleed into Collision and back and forth. Collision is still booked like this island, this separate island. And even this channel, and I know other streamers out there that do the same thing, we're not that committed to Collision anymore. Collision now feels like Rampage. See, Collision used to feel pretty good because it wasn't Rampage. At least it's not Rampage. But now Rampage is gone. We're like, shit, Collision feels like Rampage. They book a lot of things that we don't care about. They book a lot of side things that they don't talk about on Wednesdays. These shows have to connect. But next week is the go-home show for Dynasty, folks. And I hope Tony Khan's got some tricks up his sleeve. Dynasty is next week. Why does the build feel so rushed? That is a great question. We've spent a lot of time over the last few weeks. A lot of people mad about the WrestleMania build. Did anybody really realize that Dynasty is next week? Very rushed, very interesting. Dynasty last year was one of my favorite AEW pay-per-views. I hope they do well with this, but we'll see. Swerve, Moxley, Bane, and Tony Storm. What else have they announced? I mean, again, that's kind of where we're at with this. Oh, the trios belts. There you go, official. So like that, and again, keep in mind, Rated FTR never challenged the Death Riders. They talked about the Death Riders in a situation. You should have let the baby faces challenge the heels. Or the heels jumped them for suggesting, oh, we heard you guys want these. How dare you keep our names out of your mouth? But I digress, folks. Rest in peace, Rampage. I was there from the beginning. Again, the good old CM Punk days. Hurt Syndicate getting tag title opponents just out of nowhere the week of. Again, it's the storytelling that struggles. 6, I'm with you. Jericho versus Bandito. Yeah, see, now we're fucking up. Don't have that match on this show. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that is Dynamite. That is the show. We are back tomorrow for TNA Impact. It's going to be great. 7:45 live. We are going to run through all the stuff that happens on TNA. Friday, 3:45 in the afternoon. Feel Good Friday. We go live for an awesome SmackDown. Lots expected to happen as the build to Mania continues to, amp up, we hope. And then, of course, we are here for all your wrestling needs. The channel that watches more live wrestling than anybody else out there. We appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We thank you for your support. On behalf of Big Nick, on behalf of Anthony, I am Mr. Everynight KJ White. Come back tomorrow, and until then, I'll see you on the flip side. Bye!